For Pittsburgh Police Commander Jason Lando, the mass shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue was both horrifying and personal. He went to synagogue as a boy, and on that day, his officers took fire. And though he was the incident commander that morning, Lando agreed to speak with our Andy Sheehan, not to take credit for his own actions, but to pay homage and tribute to those who died and those who put their lives on the line.
Police Commander Jason Lando grew up in Squirrel Hill, spending his boyhood at the Tree of Life. On the morning of October, he was in his police cruiser when he heard the report of gunfire at the synagogue.
It was like a moment of disbelief that this was actually occurring in my community, at my own family synagogue.
Within seconds, he would take command of the most horrific and intensely personal incident of his career, managing the task of trying to capture suspected gunman Robert Bowers without any additional loss of life, something for which Lando takes no credit.
Being outside, just trying to manage the logistics at the scene, pales in comparison to those guys that went in to a gun battle, knowing that they were probably going to get shot.
He arrived as Bowers shot and wounded officers Daniel Meade and Michael Smeda. Then, retreating back into the building, the gunman's attention shifted from killing innocent victims to his own survival.
As long as we were being shot at, that kept his attention away from anyone else that might be hiding inside.
After SWAT team members assembled from around the city, Tactical Commander Clint Timmons ordered them to rush the building. And in the ensuing gunfight, Bowers would also shoot and wound both Anthony Burke and Timothy Matson, who is still in the hospital recovering.
What the SWAT officers did was just, it was incredible. It was some of the most heroic things I've ever witnessed. And they were the ones that went in after him. Officer Matson and his fellow officers, Officer Burke, that were in there on the SWAT team, they took bullets to save other people's lives.
But Lando's connection to the incident went even deeper, all the while aware that his 98-year-old grandfather attended the Tree of Life nearly every morning, especially on the Sabbath.
For the first 30 minutes of the incident, I was pretty convinced that my grandfather was in there, and he was going to be one of the victims.
Every morning, Joyce Feinberg would drive him. Turns out, not on that morning.
And on that morning, either he didn't sleep well the night before or he just wasn't feeling well, and he told her that he wasn't up for going and to just go without him. And she went, and she died.
If some good could come from this loss and devastation, Lando says it's that the community has pulled together and that the police are feeling the love, respect, and appreciation from the community.
It means a lot to see all the cards and the food getting dropped off at the station because, you know, our men and women don't often get a lot of thanks for going out and doing what they do. So this has really helped to lift their spirits.
Andy Sheehan, KDKA-TV News.